back to episode 303 of the Guiding Us podcast. I'm your host, Troy.
And I'm your other host, Doug.
We use this podcast to talk about God, guns, and responsible Christian gun owners' interests. On this week's show, we'll be talking about April Fool's Day. Where did that come from? Well, thank you, bandwidth sponsors, Firearms Radio Network. If you've not checked out other shows on the Firearms Radio Network, please do. There are lots of them out there, and we are all working together to try to bring you good content. And next, we want to thank Primary Arms. Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms with over 13,000 products from over 400 top brands. Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearms parts, shooting gear, apparel, and more. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service backed by a fast shipping and expert support team. We want to thank them for being part of our show and supporting our show. And we also want to thank Patriot Patch Company. If you haven't gotten any of the patches from Patriot Patch Company, they are cool. I've got swag bags full of them right here. You got some there.
Yeah.
We got
gun safety
AR-15 mats that you can work on your guns. We got AK-47 mats that you can work on your guns in Russian. And we've got patches of stickers. They make the patches for our show, like behind us, the scene behind us. So if you've not checked out Patriot Patch Company, please do. PatriotPatch.co and let them know that you guys listen to their show and heard about them from us. Will be nice. We appreciate that. Jake's a good guy, and
yes, he is.
Living out there in South Dakota now, enjoying the freedom that comes with moving away from Illinois. So there's all that. This week's guiding gun activities, Doug. What you been up to?
Let's see. On the God side, Sportsman's Daily Devotional, and we hadn't had a hospital devotional this week that I've seen, and but got to go to church on Sunday, and that was cool, and be going again this week. Gun side, been doing my EDC. I carry the old Glocks to every day. I did get my truck back Saturday, but it's got to go back in the shop one more time because they didn't replace the light on the daytime running light that was out. And it's still out. So they didn't catch it. I guess they QC'd it and had the truck lights on, and the fog light above it was lit, but the bottom one wasn't. So I guess it made it look like it was. So I got to get that fixed. No big deal. Hey, had some fun Saturday morning, though. Got up, let the dogs out about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was letting them back into the house. And all of a sudden, I just saw red lights flash all around my house, on both sides of the house and the trees. I'm like, what in the world? Walked out. I let the dogs inside, and I walked out to the edge of the road, and there's a hazmat truck sitting right in front of my house. And I was like, I said, that ain't probably good. There's fire trucks lined all up and down the road. No. There was fire trucks lined up and down both sides of the road and all kind of stuff going on. Like, what in the world? One of the firemen pulled up there, and there was actually a fire truck, or I guess a chief's truck or whatever, sitting in my driveway. So I'm looking at it like, what in the world is going on? So one of them finally come over and said, oh, tanker just filled up. There's a refuel station, a couple miles up the road from me. And he had just left the refuel station, filled up a big old semi-trailer coming down through there. And I don't know what happened to him, but he slid off the side of the road and rolled her over on her side, took out a telephone pole, or one of the light poles. And they cut the power. I got back in the house about 5:30, and that's when they cut the power. They realized it was leaking. So they had to do cleanup, and hazmat had to be down there, and they finally got power back on right at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So needless to say, I played on the radio a lot that day.
Good deal.
Let's see. What else did I got going? That was a big thing. But, hey, thanks to Troy and Larry up there in Kentucky for helping me get set up with Pi-Star on the ham radio stuff to get a hotspot so I can talk digital. So that was pretty cool. Got that done. Also want to say happy birthday to my son-in-law, Dylan, who turned the big 27 today. So we just got back a little while ago from going out to dinner with him. and help him celebrate his birthday. And last but not least, I want to, Troy and I both want to just wish our friend Chad our condolences on the passing of his wife this week. That's tough. And just want to let him know he watches the show and he's been a listener for a long time.
Yep.
And we just want to say that you and your family are in our prayers. And we were just thinking about you.
Yep. Chad's jokes, Doug would have had to quit a long time ago.
I know, right?
That's got your guide and gun stuff for the week?
That's got me, man.
Good deal. Let's see. Of course, daily Bible reading. I've been doing a lot of sermons. Had church security Sunday. We've got both services back in play. It was our pastor's last Sunday.
Uh-oh.
They had dedication and for him, and he's going to be going down to Tennessee. A big Kentucky fan moving to Tennessee to help out down there. He's going to be at a big church. Where is that church he went to? Down there near Fort Campbell on the Tennessee side. But he starts down there in a couple of weeks. I think he's taking like a 2-week break, and then he's starting a church down there. So we're going to be looking for a new pastor, which is going to be a big ordeal as usual. But our pastor, Randy, was a good pastor. He's there 17 years. So that's a long stint for a pastor. A lot of times you don't get them very long, especially these smaller country churches. You know, once they are any good, they get picked up by the big leagues, right?
Right.
They go to bigger churches that can afford to pay them more money. But not that that's the thing. I think he was just he done all he could do here. I think, and his sons all graduated and went off to college, and they were empty nesters and thought, hey, let's go somewhere new, you know. And they got a call from a guy he respected. So he went and left. His last thing was Wednesday night. I was at church Wednesday night last night, and did church security again for the youth and the children's programs. And then we've got a couple classes that meet. He and his wife were there last night saying goodbyes. So they're gone. We'll be looking for a new pastor. So if you guys know anybody, send them our way. And then what else we've been doing? Working on ham radio for all the ham guys out there. I've been posting stuff, and Doug has been hearing about it and seeing pictures. And Larry that helped Doug has been a big help to me too. He helped me get my hotspot going. So he's been like Elmer to me and Doug both here recently, because I've reached out to a lot of the guys local here, and they're just, I don't know, they're either too old and mean and don't want to tell anybody how to try to help them out. So I've been thankful for Larry stepping in and giving us advice and giving me advice on getting these things set up. So I'm running a hotspot, and now I'm running WiresX HRI 200 for you guys that are hams. Was trying to get an antenna up today. I tried to get up yesterday, but ended up having to go to Glasgow unexpectedly. So that sort of killed that. Plus it was like really windy and like 40 degrees. So, well, today laid the antenna out to go put it up, and the brackets I've got aren't going to work where I was going to put it at. It was too much wind and not enough support. It had been setting up too high without any kind of support. So I ended up moving it actually to a really good location, but I've got to fabricate a bracket or try to find something already made. I found some online, but it's like 3 or 4 days shipping and stuff like that. If I had a welder, I could whip up a couple of them pretty quick, but I don't have anything but old stick welder, and it'll blow through any kind of metal I've got laying around to do it with. So probably going to have to buy something or go up to my friend's shop up there. He's got a machine shop up there in Magnolia. See if he would have the time to throw something together for me. But other than that, I've got the room up. So you guys are hams. Got guns with a slice of ham. Big old slab of ham tonight. My room is up. I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but see if you can make it out. It's a little blurry.
There it is.
Blurry. It's the KN4 KOP room. So if you have Wires X, you can log in that room, and it's up right now. So if you talk, I'll see it key up. I got muted, so it won't bother me during the show. But had a QSO from John today. What is it? N4 EJM, I think. And got to talk to him a little while, and got to talk. My first QSO was with a gentleman, Edgar, down in Oakland, which is between Glasgow and Bowling Green, just south of Cave City there, a little bit. Mammoth Cave, or not Mammoth Cave, but Park City, just south of there. This morning through the Princeton room. So enough of the talking about ham stuff. I know most of you guys are hams, don't care anything about it, but my mouth's healing up from the oral surgery. So that's pretty much all of that. Concealed carry, I'm actually carrying the old Glock 30S tonight. I've been carrying it. Well, I've been running around the farm a lot. I've been mowing and I've been running around over the barns and stuff. And I didn't want to get my STI. I didn't want a chance of it coming out and getting dirty and getting all that grass down in, because the 1911 is a lot harder to clean than a Glock. So I just switched over to the Glock.
Indeed.
You can take a Glock, stick it in a 5-gallon bucket of water, shake it around a little bit, pull it out, and she's fine to go. But that STI is a little bit more finicky, a little bit more tire tolerances. I didn't want to mow with it. I didn't want to drop it off of a ladder 25, 30 feet while I'm trying to put an antenna up or something. So I've been carrying it while I'm around here on the farm. So, yeah, and then the Microtech Switchblade, SOCOM, and then I got the little bunker buster down here tonight, keeping her down here. So she's ready to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've got my bottle of habanero sauce here so I can pop a nine. I was eating lunch down here earlier and I had the habanero sauce. I love that stuff. I don't know if you guys ever had it before or not, but that has nothing to do with concealed carry. Yeah. All right, what's up with your stuff?
Got the usual suspect, Glock 19, student of the gun, night vision sights on it, and loving that thing. And I got the Spartan Auto knife with me tonight. I had it in my pocket because I was doing some other stuff. Like I said, I just rolled in about 30 minutes before we was getting ready to do the show. So I still had everything in my pockets. So that's a good thing. And that's about it.
Good deal. I said we got an iTunes review up here tonight.
We too got an iTunes review. It is not the best one we've ever gotten.
Oh, it's funny, man.
It probably rates right up there with your Canadian buddy, that didn't like you putting in the bucket.
Canadian buddy was actually had some salient points. Go ahead, read this one.
Yeah, if you like this one. So we got a 1-star rating.
Yeah.
This comes to us from Pain Train 795 on March 13th. I thought it was kind of funny that we read it on.
Sounds like a basement dweller.
Yeah. I'm sure he probably is. So he writes to us and he wrote us a review. And he says, I listened to the podcast through 2020 so I could understand the minds of Trump supporters. And because I listened to their ramblings, I was not surprised when they stormed the Capitol. And I'm pretty sure one of the hosts stormed it too. Oh. He admits he was in D.C. when it happened, but claims that he left before the terror attack started.
Well, the Capitol Hill thing started before the Trump rally was even over with.
It did. It did. He said, but he claims he had left before the terror attack started, but he wasn't on the show for weeks after. Laying low, perhaps?
Wow, weeks.
I
think it was back on one day.
I know. They claim it was Antifa. So I guess these guys are Antifa. So now, not only are we domestic terrorists, we're Antifa as well. So they seem nice, but have no identity outside their religion and guns. Well, what do you think it was going to be when you watch a show called God and Guns Podcast? Pretty cardboard cutout personalities. Very boring. This podcast is nothing special unless you like hearing conspiracy theories straight from the mouths of those who fully buy into them. I enjoy that now and again, but the podcast isn't engaging, low energy, very boring, sad.
Oh man, we're sad.
Well, thank you for the feedback there, Pain Train 795. Hey, we put the good ones and we put the
This
bad
is
ones.
hilarious. Yeah, we'll put it all down there. Let's get
Yeah.
cussing or something vulgar in there.
Right.
Well, he took the time to write out a little over a paragraph there. I don't know if you call that a paragraph, but I find it pretty funny. I was off for weeks after
Weeks. Perhaps laying low.
laying low. Yeah, I know exactly where I was. I wasn't at the Capitol. I was at the plaza where the president spoke, and I was on a train when the reports came out that there was people down at the Capitol causing problems. But see, when I was at the rally, there was Antifa walking through the crowds trying to get people to go with them down there. And we know they're Antifa because we know their identities because we have been taking pictures of these guys at different rallies and stuff. So we know who they are. We know their addresses. We know their license plates. We know all this stuff. So this whole charade that's going on with it being Trump supporters that are trying to attack the Capitol, it was a coordinated effort, and people like this are just hilarious. He said, low energy, boring, and sad.
Just sad. Hey, but he watched throughout all of 2020.
Yeah. Well,
So maybe he's
some,
watching tonight. I don't know. He took the time to write a review in March. So,
I don't know. So
Pain Train, you might want to just stay tuned and maybe you'll learn something. Yeah,
Proverbs
you never know.
18, Proverbs 18:2 says a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. So we got that going. since it's April Fool's week.
There you have. Dude, I read that. I was like, are you kidding me?
You know that you're over the target when you're getting flack is what I've always heard. So
the terrorist attack where the only person that was harmed was shot
a protest
unarmed, shot by Capitol Police.
That nobody knows who it was.
That nobody knows who it was. Nothing ever happened.
And there was supposedly a guard that died from a seizure or stroke or something, but then they tried to say that it was a guy with a. They thought somebody beat him up with a fire extinguisher, although there's no evidence or no pictures or no video.
Yeah.
Of anybody beating anybody up with a fire extinguisher, or even the fire extinguisher, or the DNA on the fire extinguisher, but he died from that.
Yeah, I even read a report the other day that they said that there were no guns confiscated. There was no shooting, no nothing. Unlike a lot of rallies that went on over the summer.
Portland, I mean, they're still burning
daily
stuff to the ground and killing people.
Mm-hmm.
All summer long, killing people. But those aren't terrorist attacks. Those are peaceful protests. Mostly peaceful protests. Oh, well, that's enough of that stuff. Yeah, that's a joke. Let's hear the joke of the week.
I do got a joke. So, being as Sunday was Palm Sunday, it was Palm Sunday. But because of a sore throat, 5-year-old Annie stayed home from church with her mom. When the rest of the family returned home, they were carrying palm fronds. Annie asked, "What are those for?" "Well, people held those over Jesus' head as he rode by on a colt," her father explained. Annie says, "Wouldn't you know it? The one Sunday I'm sick, Jesus shows up and everybody gets a pony ride." Poor Annie.
Oh, let's see. Jeff was asking if we could reply back to that. You know, when you start arguing with people that aren't there, you start looking like an idiot too. So I just let it go about the comments from Pain Train 795. Well, the name, the Pain Train.
The Pain
It has
Train.
to be.
He's probably about that big around.
Has to be a basement dweller.
He's probably about that big around. Got a pocket full of Skittles.
He probably got a pocket full of goldfish. Goldfish. Cheerios. What's the little gummy bears? Oh, well. I got some more Bible verses tonight. I got a bunch of them. If you pull up and look about fools in the Bible, there's like 75 verses about fools. The verse we're going to pull up tonight is going to be from, well, let you guys see this verse. The fool says there is no God, coming from Psalms 14, verse 1. The fool says in his heart there is no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There's none who does good. My tongue works. I'm sad. The Lord looks down from heaven on the children of man to see if there are any who understand, who seek after God. They have all turned aside. They have together they have become corrupt. There is none who does good. Not even one. Man, if my tongue would work, I could really read this. Have they no knowledge? All the evildoers who eat up my people as they eat bread and do not call upon the Lord. They are in great terror, and for God is with the generation of the righteous. That's down to verse 5. So, what does the Bible say about fools? Well, it tells us that we shouldn't call people fools, and I'm not declaring anybody a fool. I'm just reading Bible verses. But what we need to know about foolishness is it's nature of man to be foolish. It's the nature of man to say things that are stupid, to jump to conclusions, to call people terrorists. They attend a Trump rally. It's the nature of people to just do things that are wrong, and everything to God that men do is pretty foolish. But we're not to call people fools, and we're told that in Scripture because we are made in the image of God. All mankind is made in the image of God. Even the bad people are made in the image of God, but they choose to seek a perverse way. They seek to be their own gods. They seek to decide what kind of God they want to follow, right? But God calls us to love one another, care about one another, and even pain train is worth loving, is worth forgiveness. We don't hold anything against anybody. We think it's hilarious that we're called Antifas and terrorists. Anybody that was watching my feed that day knows that I didn't go nowhere near that. I was putting up pictures at the rally, and then I was like, we're heading to the train, and I've got documentation where I was at the whole time. I never got anywhere near there because I've got the train times, got stamps and everything on the
pain
passes
train?
and all that stuff on the pain train back to Virginia. So we don't worry about that kind of stuff, but we have to be careful that we don't call people fools, but we have to recognize that we do foolish things as a fallen people, right? People who are prone to. I'm trying to get to my notes here. Apparently, I put so many verses here I can't find it. But people who are foolish are those who do not know God's word and do not follow God's advice and do not follow God's commandments. Because if you do that, then you're foolish because you're going to fall into the trap that the devil lays for you. And you're going to think that you're smart, and you're going to think that you're funny, and you're going to think that everything is okay until Judgment Day. And then you'll be like, oh, I should have listened to those sad, poor individuals on God and Guns, or the preacher that tried to share the gospel with me, or the neighbor that tried to share the gospel, or my grandparents, or whoever. At that time, you're going to realize that you're a fool, right? You're going to realize that you bought the lies of the devil, that you thought that you were so intelligent and bright and stuff like that. So don't be a fool on Fool's Day. Main topic, we're talking about April Fool's today. Goes back to, they think it goes back, there's no real clear definition. I did a little research on this today, but they think it goes back to 1582 when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. the Julian calendar, of course, named after Julius. What was he? He was Caesar, not Caesar.
Mhm.
He was what was he? He was a emperor of Rome, Julian, and that's where we got the month of July. What July, October was it? He had 2 months to it. Was it 10 months before that? And for Octavia, and so then they changed to the Gregorian calendar, and as in Hindu calendar. So I'm reading this stuff off of history.com is where I got my information from, but no one really knows exactly when it started. But they thought that the change of the months of the calendar occurred around the spring equinox, and so that spring equinox at that time was April 1st, and whenever it changed, it threw off the dates for everybody, and people were not knowing what day it was and couldn't figure out what was going on. They called it April Fools. I don't know, but the whole point about pulling tricks on people is pretty funny. But the thing that you don't want to do is lead people astray. You don't want to lead people astray. You don't want to put people at harm. But I've seen some pretty crazy April Fool's jokes in my time. How about you, Doug?
Oh, yeah. I've been included in a few of them, but I'm older now. I don't play.
Pranks are fun until somebody gets hurt. When the first person loses an eyeball or a finger, it's been a bad joke. But
did we? I think I read a NRA Armed Citizen of the Week a few weeks ago about some guys that thought it would be a fun prank to pull a gun and fake rob somebody to get it on video.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
One of them got killed.
Yeah. You know who the fool was in that one?
Yeah. Probably not the best thing he could have done, I would imagine.
Yep. Kelly's giving me some stuff. August, yeah, maybe October. Yeah, so there's three of them there. I forget which months it was. I know that Julius was July. I knew Octavia was October, but I forgot about Augustus.
Augustus.
So there's three. Yep. And they are two of the three worst months of the year.
Right.
July and August, you could keep them things. That'd be Hades, Georgia, wouldn't it?
Heck yeah, it would be.
October, though. I like October. I don't know what it was before it was October. But
I like October, too. That's my birthday.
That's when we got married. It was in October. But you see people pulling pranks. You see people pulling jokes on each other. And you wonder where these things come from. We know Valentine's Day was created by a bunch of flowers trying to sell flowers in the middle of winter. But and candy. But you don't always know about these April Fool's things and stuff. I always wondered I always thought it was probably around some pagan holiday to try to trick the dead or something, or try to lure them away from a town or something like that. I figured it was some kind of a pagan druid type holiday, sort of like the opposite of All Saints Day and Halloween and stuff. But I was surprised that nobody really knows the source of it. There was a bunch of different theories out there, but the one that had the most support was the one about them switching the calendars, and people were slow to get the news or recognize that New Year had started, and so they were worshiping and celebrating on the wrong dates, and people were laughing at them and calling them names because they were stupid.
Missing doctor's appointments.
Yeah, forgetting to mail the payment in on the rolls, and so 15. Let's see, what would have been around 1582? Beretta would have been around 1582. They were making guns back that far. I don't know if they were the kind of quality we got today, but I don't think of any other corporations that were around back then. I was doing I was looking for some records from my great uncle. Or my great uncle. He fought in World War II. My nephew had asked me if I had any of the documents, and I've got his flag from his funeral, the military flag, and these Purple Hearts and his little ribbons and commendations and stuff like that. From he fought with Patton in North Africa, across Sicily, up through Italy. until he got injured 3 times. He got a rifle wound. He got a landmine went off near him and got shrapnel in the back of his leg and his buttocks. And then he got had a mortar round go off and put a 2-inch hole in the back of his head that they had to put a plate in. And at that time, after the third one, they medically took him off of the front lines and put him as an MP on guarding the trains. And after they'd freed Paris, he rode on the train protecting the shipments traveling in and out of Paris to different places and stuff until the war was over with. But I was looking for some information about him, and I found that my I had to use the genealogy stuff to go back and find his name and his birth date and all that stuff to find the military records. Found his draft card and found where they'd transported him, picked him up with some other guys from Linwood, or he was from Rio, they called it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept going up the lineage to see, and I got up into the 1600s and found my family that had migrated from England and landed in the New World and were all over Virginia. And one of them was a representative for Virginia, state representative for Virginia, and he had a lot of correspondence with the different presidents. Jefferson, he had correspondence. His name was John Clopton. But it was interesting to go back in history like that and see how far you can go up in the lineage of it. We go all the way back to the Doomsday Book, and then we got a little bit of some stuff. That was 1066. We can go back to that on both sides of my family, on my mom's side and my dad's side. So that's pretty interesting. My grandmother was really into genealogy, and I guess she's the one that populated all those historical records. But it's weird to go back and see the relationships. I mean, they got so much information that you wouldn't think that would have been possible. But people wrote stuff down all the way back since, recorded history. But the ability to be able to go back and trace that, and it's all online now, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, John's the family historian in our group.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Y'all go to Scotland?
Yeah. That's where
McDowell's, I figured. Yeah.
Yep. Then some came out of Ireland, but I think we're of the
That's
Scottish.
the ones that kicked out of Scotland. The ones in Ireland, the ones that kicked out.
Probably.
I'm joking. I'm all over Irish. My family's from, most of them are from England, Germany, and then Nordic up in Teutonic, north of France, and what's the other? Norway. So I don't know, but they came in and raided England and took over a lot of the property there with the Vikings and what was the other group that came in there? The Vikings and I don't know. I should have read more history last night, but or I guess it was the night before last. But I found all those documents and sent them off to my nephew. He's doing a paper in college and he wanted some pictures and stuff like that, and some of the documentations he was writing a paper. So I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, so let's talk about some more of our sponsors. Remember Primary Arms. If you want to check out more about those guys, you go to FRN. That's Frank Romeo November .deals DEALS /PA, and you can find out more about it, and it helps out Farms Radio Network. Also, you can get some patches look like these back here. For whatever reason, Facebook keeps breaking our link, and I've set it back up like 5 times. So if you can't get to it, I'm sorry. But we've got a few of those left. Subscribe Star, if you want to support the show, you can go Subscribe Star and type in God and Guns all spelled out, and you can donate there. We appreciate that. And then you've got the rest of them. Then we got the Armed Citizen coming up.
We do. Hey, next one's PowerTac lights. If you're looking for a bright light and you're looking for a weapons light or headlamp or just light for your pocket, one for your vehicle, whatever you're looking for. PowerTac's got one for you. They got good prices, and they will give you an even better price. If you use our promo code God and Guns, they'll give you 40% off just for listening to the show. So you can't beat that deal. So check them out at powertac.com. Also, Crossbreed Holsters. They are one of our sponsors, and they have the most comfortable holsters you will ever wear. Troy and I both carrying the Super Tuck Deluxe for the majority of the time, but this is the Freedom Carry. So if you like that one, but they got all kinds of neat stuff out there, and I think some of you guys might have even seen that chest rig that I got for the 44 Magnum for when I go out hog hunting. So it's cool, but hey, if you're looking for a holster for your person in your vehicle next to the bed, or if your wife needs one in a pocketbook, Crossbreed makes a holster for you, and they got them for just about every gun out there. Use a promo code G&G, get 10% off for listening to the show. So go check our buddies out at crossbreedholsters.com. Also, Axelson Tactical. Hey, you've seen Troy and I's ARs that we have that Jeff had sent us when they were putting the foundation together. If you're looking for a tack driving rifle, they got them. They got bolt guns for long range. They got custom pistols, knives. Go check our buddies out. If you like T-shirts, which I do, I buy a lot of T-shirts from them because I like patriotic T-shirts and funny T-shirts, and they're just fun. But they also have a T-shirt site called Freedom Circus, so you can go check those guys out. But check our buddies out at AxelsonUSA.com. Also, Palmetto State Armory. Hey, if you're looking for pieces, parts, you're doing a build on an AR or whatever you're doing, Palmetto State has parts and stuff out there. They don't sponsor us, but they have an affiliate link for us, which if you buy through our affiliate, they send us a little bit of love back and just helps us out with the show to keep doing what we do. So go check them out at PalmettoStateArmory.com.
Good deal. Armed Citizen of the Week, what we got?
Hey, Armed Citizen this week comes to us from actually Washington, D.C.
Well, there you go.
You like this one. I don't think it was a terrorist attack, but yeah, never know. An off-duty Pentagon police officer defended himself from an armed youth who attempted to rob him on the night of March 24th. The victim, a member of the Pentagon Force Protection Agency, was near Oxen Run Park in Washington, D.C. around 9:20 p.m. that Wednesday night when the youth walked up and pulled a pistol on him. The 16-year-old then attempted to rob the man at gunpoint before a struggle ensued. The off-duty officer attempted to disarm the teen. The officer then drew his pistol and shot the youthful would-be robber in the arm. The teen was taken to the local hospital for his non-life-threatening injuries before being taken into custody. He was charged with assault and intent to commit armed robbery. As it turned out, the pistol used by the teen in the attempted robbery was a BB gun, which could not be discerned by the officer during the incident. That comes to us from NBCWashington.com.
Wow.
There you go. One of them pranks, April Fools.
Yeah, play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Don't pull a BB gun on somebody because they might not pull a BB gun on you.
Did you see, it was a couple weeks ago, I meant to bring it up on the show. Maybe it was back when I was in hiding. But if they had a guy, they had arrested this guy and took his gun away because it looked like a Nerf gun where somebody had taken a gun and they painted it up. It was like a Glock. They took it and painted it up in an AR or something and painted it up to look like a Nerf gun. It was like purple and yellow and stuff like that. Professor Paul did the one with the orange gun or the yellow gun or something like that. It looked like a full-on Nerf gun, but it was a real gun, and they confiscated it. And they said it wasn't illegal, but it looked really questionable or something, and they thought maybe it was involved with crime. It's like,
they confiscated.
They confiscated. So you got people performing unconstitutional acts every day of the week up there in Washington, D.C.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Especially this week.
I saw Wendy was lighting up a fire over there on Instagram and Facebook today.
No, was she?
She keeps it burning over there. I'm surprised she didn't in jail more often.
She just got out of a 30-day stint.
Oh, that slowed her down a little bit.
Not really.
Doesn't really appear to.
No, I don't hold too much back myself, but
No, they don't do. They've got us so throttled down. Our page is cut down. We're probably cut down to about 5% of the traffic we used to have.
Oh yeah, easy.
It's ridiculous, but when you have to protect your feelings by not letting anybody see the truth, and protect your agenda by hiding the truth from everybody, because we're sad people.
I think one thing that's funny, and this guy's comment, I'm sure he was being, a doof, but whatever. Yeah, if that's what he wants to say, hey, more power to
I
you.
don't think he doesn't rise to the level of the Canadian though.
No, the Canadian was he was classy. But this, but this guy, he took the time to write it out. So obviously he's listening to the show. So, and what do we believe? We believe in the First Amendment here. We believe in the Constitution. Hey, if you want to write that and that's your feeling, hey, rock on, man. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
We believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we believe the Bible is what provides all of that. So,
and on this show, you can express yourself, and we won't censor you or cut you off, and we will read them.
Unless you put something vulgar out there, we won't.
Now we'll censor.
But as long as you can put two words together and sticks and stones, it doesn't really bother us. We've heard all that stuff before. Well, I'm gonna wrap this puppy up. You guys have any other comments out there? Be throwing them on now so we can talk about them. If you guys get into the radio, we do have a ham radio club on God and Guns Facebook. We have our own little room over there to talk about ham stuff that bores everybody else together. So it's not all Canadians, mailman. It's just the one that we don't hate Canadians. We love Canadians. We love everybody. But it's just the fact that this guy was a classic.
He was. I gotta go back and find that one, man, because he was lighting you up that day.
and probably honestly so. I mean, it was a pretty redneck thing that we were doing that night. We were trying to solve a problem in the middle of the night. We had a guy. So we had moved to Glasgow. So that's how long ago it was. We moved to Glasgow. We got a storage building, one of those wood storage buildings, and we didn't know that it was coming. He apparently loaded up and said, "Hey, I'll be there in the morning." Like, well, wait, we ain't get the place cleared out yet. He said, "Well, I already got the truck. I got to bring it." And so there was this big tree limb hanging down where we was going to try to get it. I didn't have a pole saw. And so I'm going to go out there and get up on top of the Bobcat, raise it up, and cut this limb off so they could back it in underneath this tree back in there. And Krista says, "No, I'll do it." And so my wife, Krista, so she's in her shorts and flip-flops, standing in a Bobcat bucket, 14 feet in the air with a gas chainsaw with a 30-inch bar on it. And she's going to cut this thing off. She gets up there and she goes, "I don't think this is very safe." I said, "Probably not." So I let her back down. I made it, sound more crazy. It was pretty crazy, but made it sound because she didn't actually try to chuck. She got up there and she's like, "No, I don't think so. Bring me back down." And so I ended up throwing a chain over it, hooking the Bobcat to the chain and just breaking the limb out because I couldn't reach it with the chainsaw from the ground. I wasn't going to stand on the ladder with the chainsaw. But it was hilarious. At the time, we were laughing our butts off about it. But this guy, the whole thing about he was having such a hard time with our show was about that comment that I was an idiot. And because I said that it didn't have anything to do with the content of the show, didn't have anything about what we were talking about. It just had that I made that comment and that I was an idiot, so I didn't need to be listened to by anything. But it was a running joke for a long time. We're gonna wrap this puppy up. You guys have any other comments? Let us know. We probably lost some more people. Did I lose your mailman?
And that guy just happened to be Canadian.
Yeah, he just happened to be Canadian.
He was messing with you.
You got anything else going on?
That's no.
You shooting hogs lately?
Dude, we don't have any hogs over at where I normally hunt. I haven't seen one over there in 4 months, man. I don't know if COVID run them off or what.
Tony says they got all kinds of hogs down there in Texas. You can come down there. He said their hogs down there apparently are mixed with Russian boars or something. He said they're huge. He said that you go there and hunt. He called me this week.
Who said that?
Tony, the guy from last week down in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
He said you need to call him and get us set up and stuff. So I need to give you his number.
Yeah, indeed. I tried to Texas.
We need to get our website set up with him. So if you haven't, I'll send you it here after we get done with the show. We'll wrap it up. Send your feedback to Troy at GuyGunsPodcast.com or
Doug at GodandGunsPodcast.com.
Like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GuyGunsPodcast. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. I don't know, Jeff, if there's a better way to share that YouTube link. I try to put out there as early as I can. I noticed he commented earlier about is there a better way to share that? Just share everywhere you can. If you got anybody will listen to you about us. Let's see. We've got a Webkin page. It's WIMKIN. I've got a personal and a Guiding Guns page, sort of a fallback. It's not very good, but it's there. I mean, it sort of works. We've got Instagram. I post things from over there from time to time. We have Rumble, but for some reason the videos haven't been uploading right here recently. I'm going to have to spend some time trying to get that to working again. MeWe account is pretty active, going pretty good. I try to post over there as often as possible. And Doug is going to take care of that GuyGunsPodcast.com website one of these days. Hopefully with the help of Tony here soon. So until next time, Doug, have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bible closer.
Good night, y'all. Appreciate y'all being here, commenting.
Good night, everybody.
We will talk to you all later.